Welcome to the deep dive. You're keen on understanding how to hit harder in volleyball, and we're here to really dig into that today.
Yeah, absolutely.
You rightly pointed out that filming your hitting for technical feedback and adding specific strength training are key next steps.
Those are great starting points, and that's exactly what we're going to explore, in more depth.
Okay.
We've pulled together quite a bit stuff from USA Volleyball, regional groups like ERVA, coaching thoughts from Dr. Darren Cannell, the Canadian Elite Academy, a
Ah,
really comprehensive coaching guide, and even Volleyball Canada's long-term athlete development model.
so a broad perspective.
Right. The goal is really to go beyond just those initial steps and give you a much richer understanding of all the factors involved in hitting powerfully and effectively.
Got it. Okay, let's dive in. Maybe start with the technique side of things.
Sounds good.
That Canadian Elite Academy session you mentioned, advanced volleyball skills focus, hitting, it seems aimed at players who already know their way around the court.
Exactly. It's for athletes familiar with gameplay, with strategy. It's really about that fine-tuning process.
And that focus on, advanced refinement,
Yeah.
it directly supports your idea about filming and reviewing hitting, right?
It really does. And the comprehensive coaching guide backs this up strongly. It dedicates whole sections. I think it's 8.3, 8.7 specifically to attacking skills and the detailed techniques.
Okay.
It breaks the hit right down into those crucial bits.
Yeah.
Your approach pattern, the timing of your jump, the actual mechanics of the arm swing, and critically, where you contact the ball.
All those areas you highlighted for review.
Precisely, all the spots to look at on that film.
And it's interesting, it's not just about blasting the ball every time, is it?
No, definitely not.
That coaching guide, section 8.3.4, it lists different kinds of attacks. Power spikes, sure, but also tips, roll shots, cut shots.
Right. It emphasizes that versatility, having different tools in the toolbox, like you said before we started recording.
Yeah, exactly. An effective offense needs options, not just brute force. It keeps the defense guessing.
It absolutely does. And that ties into something else the guide mentions, I think section 8.3.5, body control in the air, hang time.
Ah, okay. To adjust midair.
Yeah. That ability lets a hitter make those split-second decisions based on where the block is setting up or how the defense is shifting. It's about hitting intelligently.
So seeing yourself is clearly vital. The guide, section 26.2, really calls out video analysis as a powerful coaching tool.
It is. It gives such specific visual feedback on all those technical elements we're talking about.
It's one thing to be told your timing's off, but another thing entirely to actually see it, maybe in slow-mo.
Exactly. And that raises the next point, right? How do you take what you see on video and actually make changes on the court?
That's where the coach comes in, presumably.
Yeah, we'll get more into coaching specifics later, but just that first step, using video to clearly spot the areas needing work based on solid technique that's fundamental.
Okay, good point.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears a bit to the physical side, the strength training you recommended. Legs, core, shoulders.
Right. And our sources have some really valuable things to say here, too.
What stood out?
Well, what's interesting is the Comprehensive Coaching Guide, section 4.1.1, it actually talks about starting age-appropriate strength and conditioning pretty early, even for like 11 to 14-year-olds.
Really? That young?
Yeah, but it's foundational. Building basic muscular strength, power, endurance. It helps everything on the court, including hitting harder down the line. It's about building that base.
Okay, so it's progressive.
Very progressive. And Volleyball Canada's LTAD model, that's long-term athlete development, it describes a stage called training to train. It's on page 16, I think. And that phase specifically mentions introducing free weights and developing other physical capacities, especially around the time kids hit their main growth spurt.
So it's a strategic, long-view approach to getting stronger.
Totally. It's planned out. And connecting that back, the coaching guide, section 11.5, highlights the role of a dedicated strength and conditioning coach.
To tailor the plan.
Exactly. To design programs that consider the athlete's age, their skill level, but also their position. You know, a middle's needs might be slightly different from an outside hitter's.
Makes sense. So it's clear technique and strength. They really go hand in hand.
They're intertwined.
And it feels like good coaching is the bridge between them. We mentioned reviewing film with a coach.
Right. And the sources definitely emphasize that broader coach-athlete relationship.
How so?
Well, multiple sections in the big guide, like 12.1.3 and 12.6, they really underscore the coach's job in giving constructive feedback.
Not just pointing out flaws.
No, it's more than that. It's guiding athletes to find solutions, fostering that, I can improve mindset.
And Dr. Cannell's ideas, from his sport coaching internet kids work.
Hmm.
He talks about identifying specific areas to work on and setting high expectations.
Yeah, high but achievable. It's about challenging athletes, pushing them a bit.
That idea of targeted improvement and high standards, it seemed to connect with that coaching approaches document too.
It does. That document says, while you should respect your coach's methods, seeing different coaching styles over time can actually be really beneficial. You get different perspectives, maybe different drills or techniques.
Interesting. And it's good to see the focus on coaches actually being qualified.
Definitely.
That document from the Junior Nationals, the GJNC PTM one,
Right.
it mentions the USAV Coach Academy and Impact CT certification.
Right, which shows there's a commitment to making sure coaches have a solid base of knowledge and follow best practices, especially for a big event like the Junior Nationals.
Which leads us kind of naturally into thinking about the athlete's whole journey,
Yeah.
long-term athlete development.
Exactly. LT-JAD.
That Volleyball Canada document really lays out that framework, doesn't it? Stressing gradual, progressive development over years.
It's the marathon, not a sprint idea.
Yeah.
And if you look at page 14 of that model, it shows the different stages: focus, play, initiation, and so on. Skill development, including hitting power, it just evolves through these phases.
So the improvements you're looking for now are part of a bigger picture.
A much bigger developmental path, yeah.
Okay. And one last piece seems important. The actual environment where all this happens.
The team culture.
Yeah, team culture, the coach-athlete relationship seems foundational.
Oh, absolutely. The comprehensive guide touches on this in several places, like Chapter 19. Creating that supportive space where athletes feel safe to try things, make mistakes, and learn. It's crucial.
And going back to USAV and the coaching approaches stuff, there's a real emphasis on respect, on ethical behavior from coaches, zero tolerance for harassment,
Yes, and those aren't just, background rules. Those ethical standards build trust.
which helps learning.
Definitely. It fosters open communication, makes athletes more willing to take feedback on board, and really push themselves to develop skills like hitting power.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. We've seen how refining technique approach, timing, arm swing, contact is huge.
Paramount.
And we've looked at how vital targeted strength training is, legs, core, shoulders.
Critical physical development.
Expert coaching, using tools like video analysis, kind of guides the whole process.
Yep, the essential guide.
And all of this works best when you see it as part of long-term development, happening in a really supportive ethical environment.
That sums it up nicely. And looping back to your original next step ideas.
Filming hits and strength training.
Yeah, filming for that detailed technical breakdown with a good coach and consistently doing the strength work for those key muscles. Those actions are clearly well supported by everything we've discussed from all these sources.
Definitely seems that way. Okay, so here's a final thought for you to chew on. How could understanding some basic physics, ideas like momentum, force transfer, how could that give you another layer of insight?
Beyond just the visual.
Yeah, beyond what you can see on film. Could understanding those fundamental mechanics of powerful movement help you analyze and improve your hitting even more effectively? Something to think about.
Interesting angle. Food for thought.
Thanks for diving deep with us.